Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of The Address, the official podcast of thestateofgames.com. This is a show where we talk about video games and sometimes review them. On today's show, we have managing editor David Quigley and staff writer Patrick Okolo. Remember, you can be a part of the show by heading over to twitter.com/TSOGtweets and send us a question using the hashtag TSOGpodcast. On today's show, we have thoughts on Microsoft's newly Project xCloud, PSN names are finally coming to PlayStation consoles, and rumors and speculation have surfaced involving Microsoft and the possible acquisition of independent studio Obsidian. You're going to want to catch the entire episode because it's going to be a really good one. Let's hit it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of The Address, the stateofgames.com official podcast. My name is Peter Lopez, and with me today is David Quigley.
Hello.
And also Patrick Okolo.
Hey, how's it going?
Guys, we have a jam-packed show today, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So on Monday, October 8th, Microsoft revealed its new game streaming service, Project xCloud. So the service is expected to work across consoles, phones, and PC, and although there isn't a release date as of yet, Microsoft did announce that public testing will come sometime in 2019. Guys, what are your thoughts on that?
I remember when they were first talking about the Xbox One and the power of the cloud, and how that was going to be revolutionary, and
the next big thing.
How's that working out? I think this is the future. This is the future of games. The very, 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 very distant future. There's no way this is going to be big in 5 years, even.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not ready yet for sure. Even on Steam, they have their own cloud Steam leak program they have for playing games on the cloud, but even that has issues with connectivity online, just lag, things like that. So
this is different than the Steam thing though, because the Steam is streaming from your own computer.
Yeah, exactly.
This is worse than that.
From a server. Yeah,
this is streaming through the internet. So this is Google also has a thing they just announced recently. If you guys saw that, the Project Cloud, so very similar. And their thing is you can stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey inside of Google Chrome, the browser.
Yeah.
That sounds great if you live somewhere with gigabit fiber coming straight into your door. You guys live out on the West Coast. The truth of this matter is the vast majority of the United States and world, really, in terms of land area, just doesn't have the affordable broadband access to pull this off.
Yeah. I mean, I think definitely, look, if people who want it need it, then they can definitely use it. But like you said, mostly people are just going to use their regular console at home that they already have. Just, play it with right in your room already. No need for online streaming, things like that.
Yeah, I think it's their cost-saving future. They're looking at a future where they don't have to invest in hardware research and development and manufacturing. They can just pump out little Roku boxes that stream everything for $50.
Yeah.
But it's, until Microsoft and Sony, all these people, until they start pitching some money in to roll fiber out to rural Midwest areas, it's great if you live somewhere that has, competition. The minimum requirement for Project Cloud, Google's thing, is 25 megabits per second. I'm not sure what Microsoft is. I'm sure it's at least that. I'm paying $70 a month for 16 for almost half of what is required to even attempt to do this. And the bare minimum isn't going to be a great experience either. You're going to want to be above that. So
exactly.
This is just, it's a great. I would love to have fiber coming here, but that's like a 20-year out thing, I think, in realistic terms.
I'm just curious as to how much it's going to cost, man. Just because Xbox Game Pass is upwards of $100, and that's just for a year. I know Xbox Live is, I think, $60 for a year. So could you imagine tagging both of those together on top of the streaming.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that much more money really, because then, when they can cut out a big chunk of the console market and just be streaming everything, they're saving money, because the bandwidth costs are really not as much as they would like you to believe. So I think long term they're just essentially getting free money by the time they can start streaming stuff.
I'm looking here right now. Sony's own counterpart, PlayStation Now, they have like a 1 month subscription for $20 and a 3 month subscription for $45. So
Jeez.
It shouldn't be that much. But then again, it really comes to the experience. Like, again, is it going to be smooth gameplay? Is there going to be drops? Maybe server downtimes? There's just too many like variables to worry about a whole streaming service only.
Yeah, and you don't know how it works either. Like,
exactly,
this is so far out. It could be like traditionally, like now, you don't necessarily have to have this as like a Netflix deal where you pay and you can just stream all the games. Maybe it's you get a little $50 streaming box and then you can buy access to specific games, versus paying a month. I'm sure there will be a monthly subscription though, but will it be, $100, $200 a year or more? Who knows? Like I say, I'm not sure it matters because this is so far out. It certainly doesn't matter for me. Maybe you guys out in California can check it out in the next couple of years, but
yeah, I mean, honestly,
I might not even be alive.
If you want to play like Microsoft games that bad, just go to GameStop, get a cheap Xbox One or Xbox 360, and get some cheap games as well. They're on sale right now, so just do that instead of streaming.
Yeah. I know with the Nintendo Switch, for example, they have Resident Evil 7 that's streaming in Japan, and I know folks, who live in the States who are trying to do that. It's not coming out very well,
Yeah.
So it kind of just that itself kind of worries me on this service. But I mean, I'm confident in Microsoft, but I don't know how it's going to work out in the long run. Hopefully, very well.
This, our country is just gigantic. Is the problem. We're way down there in terms of internet deployment. That's just it's a land area problem. You look at these European countries where everybody's got it, or like South Korea where
you're right.
They got super fast internet everywhere because their entire country is smaller than most states here. So it's a hard problem to solve because it costs millions, if not billions of dollars to solve it.
Man. All right. Any other finishing words on Project xCloud?
Is that the final name?
Yeah. No, I would imagine.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah, maybe it'll be like Project xCloud.
Don't get me wrong.
Streaming.
It's a good name, though. I mean, it makes sense. So.
It sounds so generic.
No, but they can call it, whatever it is, Microsoft Streambox Project xCloud Edition, like Scorpio. Just slap the name on.
Yeah, Scorpio was a nice name. I don't know why they changed that. I kind of like Scorpio, so we'll see.
All right, so moving on. Sony finally reveals PSN name changes are coming. I don't know if this is going to excite you, David, or not, but it's supposed to be rolling out sometime in early 2019. And I know PlayStation Preview members can check it out until the end of November of this year. It's going to cost folks $10, which is similar to Microsoft's gamer tag changes. And if you have a PS Plus membership, then you'll get it for half that price. So what do you guys think about PSN name changes finally coming to PlayStation consoles?
RonPaul.gif. It's happening.
It's happening.
This is so late, and it's so pathetic that it took this long. I'm way in camp PlayStation when it comes down to the two of them, but it's really pathetic that it took this long. I personally, obviously, I want this to happen. I don't actually have any plans to change my PSN name though, so I won't likely utilize this. But I'm glad for all the really embarrassing names that I see online. Hopefully they'll take advantage of this. Especially with the first one being free, just pick something that's not terrible. And, I personally think this should be free, but I understand that why would it be free when you're primary competitor has established for many years now that they can get $10 a pop on it.
Right.
So it's the same deal with PSN. PSN used to be free, and then Xbox Live was like, hey, we can get a bunch of money for this, and now even Nintendo's thing costs money. So once one person does it, everybody else is going to do it.
Yeah, the price isn't surprising to me, but it's just I'm actually surprised that they're actually charging for it, even though the first one is free. I know on Steam, you can just change your name all willy-nilly just like that without having to do anything like that. But is there any reason why though that they haven't changed, or they've done this way where you can't change your name since you started out? Was there like safety reasons or just?
No, it's basically I don't think they've come out and said it, but
yeah,
the assumption is that the way they programmed PSN was, rather than having like a database where you have a unique username and then an alias, so that will display whatever you want and change it, the thing that identifies you is locked in as that name. So if you were able to change your name, this is actually going to break multiplayer games by doing it. And they warn you in the article about it, that this could potentially totally break the game and you won't be able to use it. So they're actually letting you revert back to your original name for free at any time if you want to.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's
which makes it even worse that you have to pay money for it, because do you get refunded if you have to go back? If you go back, can you go to the other name again like for free? Can you switch back and forth as you need to play old games? I have more questions involved in this. The sad thing is we're when I say we, I just mean PlayStation people in general are paying for name changes, and you're essentially just paying for the really boneheaded decisions that they made when they were making it. If they did this the right way, like Steam, you'd be able to just change your name 12 times a day if you wanted to, and it wouldn't matter.
About Steam, yeah,
I just don't see a point. I don't see a point in doing that, like changing your name like once a week.
No, but you're an what would you call it? Adult. And you see the people that are kids. Nice. The freedom's nice. And, you see things like, on Steam when you play. Yeah. Well, I mean, like on Steam, you see name changes like for people group up. Their team name on Rocket League will be all like matching names.
Okay. So like team-based.
Yeah, team-based names. Like in Rocket League, I played against a guy whose name was Owen Wilson, and he just spammed the WoW quick chat option the whole time. It was hilarious. So there's. And
so I'm seeing here it's a window. So what happens if you missed like the program period? Like, is there like another chance coming up, or?
I think the window is just like the beta. So that's only for a select number of people, and then once it eventually rolls out, everybody should have one shot. I don't know if the trial people will get a free one and then another free one when it opens up to everyone. I doubt it, but I think my understanding is if you've been in the beta programs in the past for the system changes, that there's a chance they'll put you in here and then you can try it early and see how many of your games break. I think it's maybe Pete knows. I think it was April 1st was the cutoff date. They guarantee any game that was released after April 1st of this year will work. Before then, no guarantee.
Wow.
Okay.
And probably the further back you go, the less likely it is. I think a lot of PlayStation 3 games, if anybody's playing them online, I think a lot of those will break.
It's just so bizarre how a thing like changing your name could potentially break your experience, your games. But I do have to give them props, though, that at least they're finally rolling this thing out. I know a lot of people have been, begging for it. And hey, at
Only
least,
for like 10 years.
They're getting it.
Yeah. Next stop, backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Do you guys even want that, though? Or are you
it's not coming for this, but I don't, not to derail us, but I don't see any way that there isn't backwards compatibility on PS5. They will just get slaughtered if it's not.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't include PS4 or PS3, I mean, because of the processor, but it's got to be everything else at a bare minimum. PS4 1 and 2 has to be workable.
Let's just hope that at least it's in the conversation, because the new console that they're working on, they officially announced, or like kind of said that they're working on a new console for PS5. So hopefully like it's in the conversation. Like, okay, guys, let's actually roll it out. So people can play some old games on the new system.
I think it'll be my last derailing comment, I guess. But I think the PS5 announcement, that'll be one of their big reveals. They'll be showing like, I don't know, some garbage PS1 game like Crash Bandicoot or Parappa, and then
Like
everybody will go nuts
well.
about it
That's
and be
the
like,
new launch screen.
yeah, be like, oh look, it's Spyro 1,
Yeah.
and everybody will go crazy. Like, oh, Siphon Filter. These old games that look terrible.
Oh, I wouldn't mind playing Siphon Filter again. That was a good
I
game.
mean, you said, yeah, it was then. It's not going to hold up.
But I could also buy it for like maybe $10 on Amazon.
Yeah,
and
probably not that
hook up
much.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so pushing on forward. Now, this was a topic that was brought to my attention by Pat. So according to Kotaku, Microsoft is, quote, 90%, end quote, close to closing a deal and purchasing independent developer Obsidian. And they're most popularly known for Knights of the Old Republic 2 and Fallout New Vegas. So, Pat, what's up with this Obsidian deal?
I mean, supposedly they're close to buying them out, but Kotaku says it's a source. Other site says it's rumors, so we don't really know for sure. But I do want to say that if it does happen, this is really good for both sides. Microsoft, for example, we saw in last E3 that they're pushing for like more developers to join like their in-house, first-party systems. So if they do get Obsidian, it just means that they have intent to really come out either next year or maybe the next few years down the line with some really great exclusives for their console. So that's really good for Microsoft. And for Obsidian as well, like you said, they've been an indie studio for a while. They've made some great games for sure, but they've always had financial issues. They have to go through crowdsourcing, things like that. So to have Daddy Microsoft in your corner is definitely going to be great. To keep just stability within the studio, and just keep the lights on. So if this works out, it's really good for both guys to see. But again, it's just sources, rumors. We don't know for sure.
I mean, let's say this deal does go through. I know Pillars of Eternity is a title by Obsidian. I mean, and I want to say that game's on PC, and I think it's on mobile devices as well. I could be wrong about that. But what I'm trying to get to is, do you think if Microsoft does purchase Obsidian, are these titles going to be exclusives to Microsoft platforms, or are they going to license them out to other companies?
I mean, yeah, that's also another situation. Since they've already been out, Pillars, Tyranny, I don't think they're going to be exclusive anytime soon. But yeah, the future ones could be exclusive to like consoles, and also maybe like the Windows Store app. My gosh, I hate that. But yeah, that's a possibility. But I'm actually seeing it more of like, they have this talent now. If they do buy them out, they have a talent for making good RPGs, good narratives, and just also good gameplay as well. They could revive some Microsoft titles that we never saw released. So like Scalebound, I'm thinking maybe, or or Fables. I don't know. I'm just saying, they have a huge. These guys are huge
You're
RPG.
a dreamer, Pat.
You don't think so?
No, those games are dead. Those games are super dead.
No, they're not. I know.
Here's what I got. So yeah, Pat touched on Microsoft buying studios at E3, announcing it. So they got Undead Labs, Playground Games, Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games are the 4 that they announced at E3. So everybody knows they're getting hammered on the first party game front.
Yeah, for sure.
So I made a little list. The big ones for Microsoft. I think, and this is in terms of like mass appeal. You have an annual Forza game, an occasional Halo, and occasional Gears. Mm-hmm. And I think from there you have a massive step down to things like, because they're more indie, Ori, Recore, Super Lucky's Tale, Sea of Thieves, and then beyond that, you have these games that have just been delayed for eternity or canceled. You got your Crackdown 3, Phantom Dust, Fable Legends Scalebound. So what's the best way to fix this problem? Just buy a bunch of other games, and ta-da, they're first-party games. It's, it makes sense, and they've got the money to throw at it, so why not? I don't think they'll be multi-platform. The question was posed. I don't think you buy these games to put them out on PlayStation. You're buying them to close the gap.
Yeah.
So, the only exception is Minecraft, so you can't compare that to any of these other games because Minecraft is its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going up against, the PlayStation lineup, a little bit more well received from Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Infamous, Ratchet and Clank, Bloodborne, Last Guardian, Shadow of the Colossus, Gran Turismo, Gravity Rush, Detroit Until Dawn, Drive Club, Knack. Everybody's golf.
I mean, we've all seen those reports where it's like, they have, who won the console, kind of like pricing, sales each month. It's always like a PS4 out on top.
I don't put too much into that, though, because those prices are always... What they're asking for old games digitally is insane sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't put a lot of stock into that. I think a lot of months recently, especially in the last couple of years, the Microsoft monthly games have been better offerings. But
the free ones?
Yeah, the free ones.
Okay.
The gold games with gold, I think, in general, have been better than PS Plus most months in the last few years. Mm-hmm. But no, we'll see how it works out. I hope they don't buy them and then cancel their game and fire everyone.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, just to go back, though, to what you said first, Pete, about if, their other titles would be exclusive. Even if they don't bring back, like, Scalebound, I'm dreaming, I know. But, now they have Obsidian and, like, in their corner if they do buy them out. And maybe we could also see, like, a whole new, like, IP, a whole new IP RPG that could really be good to bring new players into their system. So it's kind of, I'm seeing only good things for now. But yes, there's a possibility that, they buy them out, nothing happens, and it's more like a corporate play than a consumer play. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I got two things to say about this one here. Like, I think Microsoft really needs all the help they can get because, as David pointed out, they're getting hammered right now by PlayStation because of the wealth of first-party titles from PlayStation, and Microsoft doesn't really have anything right now that I could point out. Mm-hmm. And then two, Pat, I think if you have a hankering for Scalebound, you're way better off just playing Monster Hunter World on PC.
Yeah.
Well, there's just no way that they're gonna buy another studio and have them come in and either start over or especially take over what broken code was there already. Scalebound is deader than dead.
I mean, it might not be like the exact same game. I'm
You're just talking like a dragon game, a dragon
yeah,
RPG.
Exactly. Yeah, they have the name, and then it's like something totally different. Like instead of like a
I don't know,
it's isometric, but I don't know. Yeah,
they have the name, but why would you? If the name is a joke now, why would you even do that? Just pick a new name.
It's like, hey guys, this is not Scalebound, but
this is like Dragonbound.
Dragonbound.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I mean, it's going to be huge news if it happens. But we'll see.
I think what we're forgetting here is the possibility of another Knights of the Old Republic game or another. Well, I don't think Fallout would be an exclusive to PlayStation, but
I don't know.
Isn't
Disney,
EA exclusive with the Star Wars? So that's not even a possibility.
I don't know if you guys heard today as well. Some fan was trying to like remake KOTOR 1 into a mod, just like make it better from what it was before, and Lucasfilm just like sent him like a cease and desist letter saying stop it. And now he's just like, I don't know what to do. Should I go a lawyer? You tried, but sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good too. But yeah,
stop publicizing that if you are.
Yeah. EA has Star Wars license, and I just hope they bring out something good in the next few years.
They're not.
You'll get a Battlefront 3 next year.
Yeah, that's almost a given.
Wow. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we return, Pat's going to go ahead and review FIFA 19 for PC. Stick with us.
Hey guys, before we get started with our review, I just want to say thanks for listening. If you'd like to be a part of the show, head over to twitter.com/TSOG tweets and give us a follow. Send us a message using the hashtag TSOG podcast and we'll read it on our next show. Thanks for listening, and on with the review.
Most annual sports games tend to get the unfair criticism that they're only roster updates. Yet, even with the new additions like Champions League, Europa League, and Division Rivals, FIFA 19 does seem more like a patch than a brand new game. The Champions and Europa Leagues are the major highlights this year, after years of exclusivity at FIFA's main competitor. The logos, anthems, and overall feel of these European matches are authentic. Yet, it isn't enough to warrant a full-price game, especially since last year's FIFA 18 had a major World Cup update that arguably did more. FIFA 19 is still an enjoyable experience, and initially the gameplay might feel strange to veteran and beginner players alike. New additions like timed finishing and improved tactics made matches seem fresh and unique, even though they're ultimately unnecessary. The most popular game modes like Ultimate Team and The Journey have gotten updates like Division Rivals, which help players earn more rewards with their Ultimate Team by just playing, and the final chapter of The Journey, which follows Alex Hunter as he plays for one of the biggest clubs in the world, Real Madrid. In the end, the add-ons to FIFA 19 are appreciated, but leave players wanting for more. You're still gonna have a good time this year, but this year's title is more of a roster update.